Right. They don't even understand that you don't. You know the way we grew up, you're supposed to spend no more than 10 or 20% of what you make.
50 Cent says he gave the BMF family $5 million legal dollars, so he does not understand where the money went, how Lil Meech blew it before Big Meech got out of jail, but he feels extremely betrayed after that picture got taken between Big Meech and Rick Ross after he got out of jail.
Look, 50. Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so?
Lil Meech didn't just upset 50 Cent, he allegedly stole $10 million and partnered with 50's biggest rival to pull it off. This wasn't a small argument, it was a betrayal that felt like something out of a movie. After all that 50 had done, for him mentoring him, protecting him, even covering his rehab expenses, Meech turned his back without a word. No warning, no loyalty, just a bold and disloyal move.
Just being with him everywhere, seeing nice things all the time since I was born, so I always knew that he was doing something. I mean, I don't know, it could have been anything. So
he was able to do it because, you know, like financially, I was supporting the idea, and I believe you could do it. He had moved to California and was working with acting coaches, and his dad didn't know that he was actually...
And now Rick Ross is involved, yes. That same Rick Ross who has been locked in a years-long feud with 50 Cent, with leaked private texts and non-stop industry gossip fueling the fire. So this isn't just a personal betrayal anymore, it's the beginning of a full-blown war. But let's take a step back, because before all this chaos, 50 gave Lil Meech the opportunity of a lifetime. He cast Demetrius Lil Meech Flannery Jr. to play his own father, Big Meech, in the hit series BMF. This wasn't just about picking someone with a familiar name, it was about changing the kid's entire path. At the time, Meech wasn't even acting, he was just another rapper trying to break through, and Hollywood wasn't paying him any attention. But 50 saw something in him, he saw potential. He believed in him so much that he paid out of his own pocket to send Lil Meech to acting school for 2 years. That's not just support, that's real love, real investment, the kind of commitment you only give to family. And it didn't stop there. While the show was filming, 50 was wiring money directly to Meech's family, making sure they were taken care of. According to 50, he didn't just toss Meech a favor, he helped secure more than $5 million in clean, legitimate money. Not street cash, not shady deals, real, legal income, the kind that sets you up for life.
It got me before I even knew I could even act at all, before acting was even a thought. My dad called me one day and told me that he wanted me to fly to Atlanta in his presence so I could meet 50 for the first time and see the first casting that he was doing. You know, so I flew out there and it was lined around the street. And the first time I met 50, you know, it was just genuine. And I sat by him and we actually got to watch people audition for a couple hours. And the next day he called me, 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answered the phone, he like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad. And at first, you know, it sounded crazy, but of course, you know, I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing, so of course I wanted to do it, you know, I just did.
And this wasn't just some regular TV role. 50 had major plans in the works, including spin-offs, movies, and long-running seasons. If everything had gone as planned, the BMF brand could have brought in anywhere from $30 to $50 million over time. That kind of transformation would have rewritten the legacy entirely, turning a street empire into a respected force in the corporate world. Meanwhile, Big Meech was behind bars, watching his son shine from prison, his name back in the spotlight, not for mugshots or crime stories, but through primetime TV, red carpets, and major interviews, and none of it would have happened without one man, 50 Cent, not a lawyer, not an old friend from the streets, a sharp, business-minded boss who revived the BMF name and gave it a whole new meaning. He made it legendary again, but this time with a clean, legal spin, setting up the next generation to benefit from it the right way. And here's the wild part, through all of this, 50 stayed humble. No bragging, no interviews flaunting his efforts, no need for applause. He stayed silent, never asked for credit, and didn't flinch when people ignored his role. That silence lasted for years until now because clearly something has changed and everyone wants to know why 50 is taking it so personally.
Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was gonna be able to do it. You thought you was gonna be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? I know you wanna make your mama one of them walking stars thing put down there. Your mama live her own walking star. We call it renderings. You had the renderings, then you try to go get them loans and ain't nobody loan you that money. You ain't even built the G-Unit studio yet. That might be why when I stood next to Meech, your knees buckled. Your knees buckled. Put your back against the wall. You're hustling.
Why does this betrayal cut so deep? Word on the street is that 50 Cent was genuinely counting on that money. This wasn't just an investment, it was tied to his future. And Rick Ross picked up on that pain fast, wasting no time before going straight for the jugular. The real shock came in October when Big Meech was finally released from prison. The man who once led one of the largest street empires in US history was free, and everyone expected a legendary reunion with 50 Cent. People were anticipating photo ops, press tour, maybe even a BMF documentary with the original Kingpin seal of approval. But what actually happened caught everyone off guard, including 50, because instead of reconnecting with the man who had kept his legacy alive, Meech stepped out with Rick Ross. Yes, that Rick Ross, the same one who's been in a decade-long bitter feud with 50 Cent. And this wasn't some random backstage photo, this was full-on promotion mode.
50 Cent, let these people know you really admire me. You love my style, the way I dress, the money I get. And let them know that if you really could, you would put all this shit to the side to do business with me and work with me. It's the truth. I know it is. Because when you see me stand next to Big Meech, your knees buckle. Oh, my ops, friends is my ops. I'm my ops, all that fake talk. But when you see my brother DJ Khaled, you hug that boy and drooled on his Amiri.
Car shows, public events, a flashy welcome home concert. Meech was everywhere, all over Instagram, posing with Rick Ross like they'd been tight forever. But here's the kicker, not a single mention of 50 Cent, no tag, no thank you, no shout out, not even a nod of appreciation. After everything 50 did to build and protect the BMF brand, he didn't get an ounce of recognition. That wasn't just betrayal, it was cold, calculated disrespect. And according to many, it felt way too intentional to be a coincidence. 50 didn't fire back right away, but if you know him, you know his silence never means peace, it's just the quiet before the storm. That's when the real questions started flying, like where did all that money go? Because based on 50's claims, the family had been set up with over $5 million in clean, legal income from the show, not street money, but real revenue. He even posted about it, saying, "Wild boy didn't look out for me. I'm the one who sent him to acting school." Then he started calling Meech Big Screech, mocking him hard. 50 didn't hold back, saying none of Meech's people on the outside ever had his back, and now that he's free, he's acting like some kind of modern-day Pablo Escobar. But 50 wasn't letting that slide. He made it clear he's the one who helped Meech's family earn millions legally, and now that the money's gone, he's not about to take the blame.
Bosses all bosses. And today I'm coming to tell all my supporters, if you're a business owner, entrepreneur, whatever you got, I'm trying to make you go up.
Then came the real shots. 50 didn't hold back. He claimed Meech was so desperate to shine that he was out here wearing someone else's jewelry, literally rocking the baby's chain just to keep up appearances. Give the baby back his jewelry. 50 posted, diving deep into petty mode. And the wildest part? Despite all the flashy appearances, reports said Meech was actually broke. Same with Lil Meech. Things got so tight that he started doing personalized promo videos online for just $500 each. That's right, the same guy who once led a hit TV series was now out here selling shoutouts like a local DJ hustling for rent. 50 couldn't resist. He jumped on Instagram and roasted him, saying, "Big Screech got Meech doing promos. $500 a pop, get you one while it lasts."
But if 50 Cent gives your family, $5 million in cash, whether it's through acting, I think he was paying for acting lessons for Lil Meech, you gotta have some appreciation. And before more details unfolded, like 5 million, because people were like, oh, 50 Cent doesn't pay people, he's always suing people. Look how he paid Ghost from Power less than Mary J. Blige on Power Book. But if Lil Meech got $5 million and he's nobody except the son of somebody famous, then he definitely could have treaded carefully with this.
But 50 didn't stop there, not even close. Just when everyone thought he had reached peak trolling, he pulled the wildest move yet. He posted a whole GoFundMe page. And who was it for? Big Meech. Now, let's be honest, there's a very good chance 50 made it himself just to stir things up. But regardless of who created it, the second 50 posted it, the internet went crazy. The fundraiser claimed that Big Meech needed help covering his bills, including a jaw-dropping $30,000 a month Airbnb. And of course, 50 didn't just quietly share the link, he added a messy caption, "Help Big Screech pay his $30,000 a month Airbnb." That's one of Pay's cribs. Shout out to Quality Control. And just when it seemed like the drama had peaked, 50 circled back and dragged 40 to Doug into the chaos. He posted that Doug had allegedly given Big Meech $100,000 and threw in a shady message, "Your daddy, my ninja, you made a mistake giving Screech $100,000. You could have given that to your ninjas, you always been hard-headed." Doug clapped back instantly on IG, refusing to back down and standing firm for Meech and his city, saying, "Can't no ninja convince me to go against Detroit. Either show me big bra or rat or shut the F up talking to me." Things escalated fast, but the bigger question remained. How does a man with one of the biggest names in the game, tied to a hit TV series, end up struggling to pay rent? Tony Yayo might have dropped a clue in a recent interview. He said that after Big Meech got out, he was actually asking Lil Baby for financial help, real serious support. And instead of calming the situation, Lil Meech just made it worse. According to Yayo, he's been burning through money like it's nothing, dropping $100,000 on Chrome Hearts jeans, $500,000 on a BMF chain, and flexing Richard Mille watches like he's printing cash. Meanwhile, his dad is allegedly struggling just to pay rent, and Lil Meech is out here dripping in designer like everything's fine. It's not adding up, and when 50 finally unfollowed him, Lil Meech actually caught an attitude like he couldn't understand why the man who built his whole career was done with the nonsense. Yayo summed it up perfectly. It's giving broke with money. But here's where it gets truly wild. Word on the street is that 50 isn't even mad about the spending. He's mad that it's being wasted, no investments, no plans, just reckless spending for clout with zero future vision. And just when you thought 50 had maxed out the petty meter, he made the ultimate power move. Rumor has it he actually bought the halfway house where Big Meech is legally required to stay. Yes, you heard that right. The same Big Meech who once ran a billion-dollar empire and had entire cities and politicians in his pocket is now allegedly paying rent to 50 Cent. And of course, 50 couldn't keep that to himself when asked about it in an interview. He just smirked and said, "Business is business."
We know Meech didn't actually leave for the halfway house. He's on home confinement because of the First Step Act and winning his 821 motion in federal court. After spending nearly 20 years in federal prison, Demetrius Big Meech Flannery left the federal prison in Coleman, Florida, Coleman Low, on October 15th for home confinement. Now, before you say I don't know what I'm talking about, it says right here that he's in the RRM in Miami. He's actually on home confinement. It says RRM because the RRM, or the halfway house, or really the re-entry manager, is administering his home confinement in Miami through the halfway house that's owned by
Then 50 dropped the hammer. He claimed he had Big Meech on toilet duty, cleaning up after felons all day. So technically, Meech might be out of prison, but according to 50, he's far from free. And fans, they're eating it up. One even said, 50 is a real savage. Always stood on business. This is the greatest burn I've ever heard. 50 makes my whole month. That's the kind of energy people are throwing behind him. But not everyone's buying into it. Some critics are calling it classic 50 Cent trolling. At its finest, one even said, "This story is complete and utter BS," claiming Meech might not even be staying in a halfway house at all. Still, let's be honest, this is 50 Cent we're talking about. The king of petty, a man with enough money and motivation to pull off just about anything. So whether it's true or not, when 50 moves, people believe it because he's that unpredictable. Meanwhile, Lil Meech made it crystal clear where his loyalty lies. He posted on Instagram, "Before I asked God for anything, I made sure I asked him to bring my father home to my family. My prayers were answered. I love you, Dad. Death before dishonor." That last line wasn't just emotional, it was a shot. A public declaration that he's no longer trying to balance between 50 and his dad. He's all in for Big Meech, no matter what. But here's where it gets shady, because now it looks like they're trying to milk the BMF brand with none other than Rick Ross. And let's not forget, Ross didn't lift a finger to keep the BMF name alive while Meech was locked up. It was 50 who carried the legacy, built the show, and breathed new life into the brand. So when your longtime enemy suddenly becomes your family's new business partner, that's where it gets personal. Ross didn't miss a beat. The second Big Meech came home, he slid in like a snake in silk, smooth, calculated, and ready to capitalize. He hyped up a welcome home concert, got Meech to co-sign it, and launched promo like it was the start of some epic return tour. But let's not kid ourselves, this wasn't about celebrating Meech. Ross saw an opportunity and played it cold. He tossed a check, threw Meech's name on a few flyers, and turned him into a pawn in his long-standing beef with 50. It wasn't loyalty, it was strategy. A revenge move dressed up as respect. And 50? He saw through it instantly, but the drama doesn't stop there, because guess who else 50 has major tension with? Floyd Mayweather.
Look at the computer say, Floyd said, yeah, Nelly 50. I'm like, what did he say me for? Nelly your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your fiance. Said that.
Yeah, their beef goes way back, and it's nowhere near squashed. So when Lil Meech pulled up to Lucky Strike Miami with both Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather, it wasn't just a casual night out, it was a direct hit to 50 Cent. And it didn't stop there. Meech wasn't just tagging along for fun. He showed up on business, flaunting exclusive pieces from his Red Letters X1's collab and even personally gifting Floyd some of the merch. Meanwhile, Big Meech made a surprise appearance over the phone, chatting it up with Ross and Floyd like they were lifelong brothers. Then Floyd took Lil Meech car shopping, a flex move, and followed it up with jewelry shopping. Because why not take the flex to the next level? They even hit the arcades together, laughing, posting, and living like there wasn't an ounce of drama in the air. To top it all off, they ended the night courtside at a Lakers game, just chilling in LA. But 50 Cent does not play when it comes to loyalty, and seeing Lil Meech hang with not one but two of his biggest enemies lit the fuse. He jumped on Instagram with a classic 50 style jab, posting a clip of Meech with Ross and writing, "You tell your pops I'm a lookout. What's the address? I'ma send some wings over there, savage." But like always, 50 deleted the post shortly after, though by then it had already gone viral. And this time, it cut deep, because for 50, this wasn't about clout or cash, it was about loyalty. He didn't just fund Lil Meech's acting career, he might have saved his life. Behind the scenes, things were reportedly getting out of control. 50 claimed Meech wasn't just burning through money, he was showing up high on set, wilding out. He wrote, "I thought about it. I think he was uncomfortable with me and Mimi's relationship. I'm telling Mimi I don't want him doing drugs, doctor. He's telling him he used to do X like it's cool. I tell Mimi, chill, stop spending all your money. He's telling him how much money he blew. People don't know I had to send Mimi to rehab." Then 50 dropped another bombshell. He said Meech came to set so faded that even his co-star Russell Hornsby noticed, and it got so bad that Meech threw up during a weapons test. That's when things got really serious. 50 said Ian told him the little ninjas had whippets in the truck canisters people inhale for a high, the same stuff used in airsoft guns. Not just irresponsible, straight up dangerous. And 50 backed it up with receipts, posting a video of Gene Deal, the former Bad Boy bodyguard, co-signing the story about Meech's behavior on set. According to 50, he quietly sent Meech to rehab, paid for everything himself, kept it out of the press to protect him, but that loyalty, it's gone now. And when 50 cuts you off, he doesn't just walk away, he scorches everything. The moment he realized he'd been played by the whole family, he went straight back to Instagram and dropped a haymaker, this time dragging in Tammy Cowens, Big Meech's former business partner. He posted a screenshot of a text conversation where he asked, "Did Meech know you were allegedly snitching while he was locked up?" Her response, "Yep." His caption, "Tammy Cowens, the truth, and nothing but the truth. Coming soon. Book." But he didn't stop there. He attached the screenshot to a carousel of BMF stills, and here's where it got super petty. He literally blurred out Lil Meech's face in every photo, scribbled out the lead actor of his own show like a scorned ex deleting old pics from their phone. Peak 50 Cent behavior, and there were even more naughty-leaded posts that had fans scrambling to keep up. Then came the leaked texts, and Lil Meech was straight up begging 50 for forgiveness. In the messages 50 posted, Meech Jr. wrote, "They just told me you unfollowed me off Instagram. Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you. I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only shown love and loyalty. I'm human. I go through my own stuff, but I never switched up on you." But then he shifted the blame, throwing his own father under the bus, saying, "Ross, he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until our next season starts." This internet is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life. But for 50, that apology came way too late. He hit back with just for brutal words, "What next season, little ninja?" And for fans, that was it, the nail in the coffin. A clear sign that not only might BMF be done, but Lil Meech's entire acting career could be on the line, because 50 has made it clear he doesn't keep building with people he can't trust. Now, people are starting to connect the dots. Big Meech has made his side loud and clear he's riding with Ross, not 50. But what if this wasn't just outside betrayal? What if Big Meech was sabotaging his own son from the inside? It sounds wild, but the theory's gaining traction. When you lay out all the messy moves, it doesn't seem so far-fetched. At first, this looked like your standard industry beef, 50 being petty, Ross being slick, Big Meech chasing a post-prison check. But step back, and maybe this isn't about business at all. Maybe this is that deep, unhealed parent energy where your child's success feels like your failure. Where instead of pride, you feel replaced. And instead of lifting them up, you start dragging them down, burning bridges they still need to cross. That's the real tragedy here. This could have been a redemption story of father and son flipping their legacy, rising together, building something real. But now it's starting to look like the bitter collapse of a dynasty. A man came home and tried to outshine the very son who kept his name alive, and in doing so, he may have dimmed both their futures. With 50 stepping away, BMF is barely hanging on. STARZ hasn't confirmed another season, and 50 has already hinted it might be the last. Rick Ross may be flexing like a power player, but legally, he can't touch the BMF brand. 50 owns the rights, so no matter how flashy the promo gets, the damage might already be done. And now here's the million-dollar question. Did Lil Meech really snake 50 for $10 million? Or was this a setup from the very beginning, with Big Meech pulling strings from behind bars? Was this a betrayal disguised as loyalty, or did 50 just bet on the wrong one? Drop your thoughts in the comments, we want to hear it all, and if you made it this far, sound off below. Was this sabotage or survival?